Yo, if I was to make a podcast, who would watch it? I know y'all will. So look, y'all, all jokes aside, I'm here to make a video off of the controversial aspect of Chance the Rapper and that interview that he had with the lady. And let's make this clear. This video is really actually for the ones that didn't understand Chance the Rapper and that's actually bashing him off of the things that he said, which was clearly clarified very well and whatever. So that being said though, right, before I even get down and dirty, because this is going to probably be a long video, and I'm not going to lie, it probably will be. And before I get down and dirty, whatever the case may be, I want to talk about the purpose of that interview. First, before the man even introduced his subject of the conversation, before he leaped into what he was like trying to say overall. And I got everybody misconstrued and took everything that he said out of context. Let's talk about the purpose of that whole interview. The purpose of that whole interview was for him to admit and come to terms with himself that he made a big mistake to work with R. Kelly and have R. Kelly at one of his concerts, which they showed on the documentary, which they showed Chance the Rapper saying, I made a big mistake for working with him. I made a big mistake. And around that time that Chance the Rapper was working with R. Kelly was around that time he had the mindset that he clarified in that interview that's made almost every black person in the community, the majority of that I can see so far, took what he said out of context and just like, you know, took it and ran with it and mixed it up in their own version. So let's talk about my POV, my point of view off of that clip alone that everybody took out of context. I'm gonna tell you what I understood. What I understood was, first and foremost, that young man gave me information in the very beginning to understand why it leaped to where he was at with his mindset. First, he clarified the fact that in the African American community, right, in the black community, we are programmed to be very sensitive, to be overly sensitive for young and older African American men, which is true. That being said, he made an example and he said, for an example, the fact that African American males are the ones to be known for getting beat and mistreated by cops. You know, like that's been going on for decades. Stop and frisk, all of that been going on for decades. Police brutality, that been going on for decades. And that being said, African American men always been the victims of that. So right there, that overwhelms our heart. We're very overprotective. You know how we are at the black community, and which I love to a certain extent. We're gonna get to that. Secondly, he brought up the young black African American woman and older African American woman, how we're viewed to society being very highly oppressed. We're highly oppressed. We're known for being dismissed. People are very dismissive towards us, and we are disobeyed. And that being said, yeah, that's been going on for decades as well. And I feel like this generation now, and this year starting, I feel like I praise the fact that my African American queens are having a voice now, and we're pushing this movement where we matter as well. Like, yes, Black Lives Matter too. You get what I'm saying? We matter. Black Lives Matter. That's the purpose of the movement. We matter as well. That being said, what we have not been understanding and noticing is that us African American women for decades been disobeyed and been dismissed for years, and we need to take acknowledgement and we need to take consideration and ownership for that, and that was the purpose of his interview. He was taking ownership for having a mindset where when he heard that one of us, and not only him, when we all heard that one of our greatest R&B singers, one of our greatest R&B singers, our king of R&B, and when I say one of ours, I'm saying an African American male who's this greatness in the music industry, being accused at the time, being accused, still is, and I'm definitely believing this shit. I've been being accused for sexually misconducting minors, sexually abusing African American minors, and sexually misconducting African American minors, and sexually abusing African American women overall. The fact, and manipulating them, and etc. The fact that we've heard these accusations towards him, yes, we was at a point in time where we did not want to believe that. Feel me? Like, nobody in the community, nobody in our circle wanted to believe that our own kind, especially one of the GOATs of the industry that we finally can praise on and own, is, that, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm starting over. We did not want to believe that one of our greatness is like doing this to our own kind, and he's our own kind at that. Who want to believe that? You feel me? Who wants to believe that? And it's sad, And that being said, I think that's what kind of overpower our thinking, our mindset, overall. I think at a point in time, and still now, because still majority did not want to believe that their own, kind is doing this to our own kind. And on top of that, for decades, African American women did not have no voice, period. So that being said, all of that was a big mixture in one big bowl, and that just gave us all a blur. You feel me? So the first thing we was doing was blaming the media. That's the media trying to destruct his image, or that's the white folks trying to like get to him, and so we was typically like, it was a cliche. It was a cliche for us to just jump on the media back and say, yeah, this is y'all doing this. We know R. Kelly ain't doing that. So we're very overprotective. We're very overprotective when it comes to our people racially. Sad, but it's true. One thing I hate about my community that we do is that we pull the race card for any situation, bro. Like, for any situation. And it pisses me off because it's like, right is right and wrong is wrong. I don't think we know how to separate the importance of life versus when we're being, racially mistreated and etc. So I don't think we know the separation. And like Chance the Rapper said, we're programmed to act on a lot of behaviors that we normally been, perceiving, right? That's how you say it. That we've been normally like, you get what I'm saying? Shit. But that being said, though, and that being said, I don't like the ignorance off of when people is trying to compare Elvis Presley and Hugh Hefner with R. Kelly at this very moment, to make what excuse that you guys are trying to make? Because I'm about to get to the nitty gritty. Like, what are y'all trying to... What excuse that y'all making when y'all do that? When y'all try to compare... First of all, let's talk the facts. A pedophile and a pedophilia is disgusting. Get them all out of here. It don't matter what race, what age, what size. I don't care who you are. If you sexually abusing minors and sexually abusing people and women at that, you gotta go. Let's talk about it. The Elvis and Huge, that's their white community. We didn't condone that shit. I know I didn't. We wasn't... I don't care. God forgive me. I don't care for them. I never did. Never will. Like, we didn't condone that. But that's the thing. black people. We should know better to be better. And I don't think we know better. Because the fact that we didn't condone that, but they was out in the open with it. And that's another thing. They were goats themselves. See how the way that they were goats themselves. So stuff like that made it seem like in society eyes it was just impossible for them to be predators. Meanwhile, a predator is a predator who prey on young women. They were predators. It don't matter where their status was at in life. They were predators. But that's logically me speaking, but overall in society, people was brainwashed. People didn't want to look at it as being that, and that's for them in that white community. You feel me? And it is what it is. And we're just immune to just seeing that shit. But for our own very black male to be doing it to our very own black young woman, yeah, he's no better neither. He got to get the fuck up out of here too. You feel me? And I feel like we need to get it together, people. Like, because we're the behavior that we're kind of portraying, we're no better. Let's get it together and let's be better. And that being said, though, yeah, we're no better. Like, we're gonna be better. We gotta do better and be better. Like, and understand each other. Do anybody know the definition of understanding? Understanding don't means you agree to disagree or to disagree to agree. Like, you just understanding is me understanding where you're coming from. I understand where you at. I can only agree to disagree if I'm not where you at, I disagree. But I understand where you at. Cause it's possibly for you to come across that. If hopefully I'm making sense. So let's